Before me was a spider wearing human skin, weaving its web between the nearby trees and streetlights, wearing a mocking smile as it stayed, hanging roughly 2 meters above the ground. Welcome back to this Irae. Last time we finished talking to Father Truther and went looking for Spinner. Since we got a strange phone call from Kazumi, and now we're at Suvahara Seaside Park. Let's see what happens. I didn't give a damn about what he was up to. I'd made up my mind and knew that what I was gonna do. Balling my right hand into a fist, I made an effort to feel the power slumbering within. Formation remained beyond my capabilities, and I wasn't particularly skilled at activation either. But I managed to wound Sakurai that night. If I could hit my target, killing them would hardly be impossible. In essence, all I had to do was get close enough and grab him by the throat. Not even a greenhorn like me would miss at such a close range. Well, the problem is getting that close. On the other hand, I knew very well how difficult the whole getting close part would be. Thank you for realizing that. I could no longer afford to back down here, being pressured by necessity. Unless I pulled out my super ultra move, I'd just die like a dog. And if that happened, my thoughts felt quite disconnected. I remained calm, but occasionally came on the verge of snapping. Was that due to my Amantes or the unbridled anger and impatience that, despite my best efforts, I failed to restrain? Kazumi had to still be alive, right? Having a heroine die this early would have been ridiculous. There was no way someone as predictable as Kazumi wouldn't know a cliché like that. So she had to be alive, right?
Kazumi.
Kazumi. I ended up unconsciously uttering her name, but the voice that passed through my lips had a pathetic, desperate ring to it. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't somewhat ease my pent-up tension. As such, my enemy wouldn't be fooled enough to let this opportunity go to waste. After flash, I found my right arm wrapped in some kind of wire. It tied me up in an instant, pulling me closer. The whole thing happened so fast I could do nothing to resist. Then ended up being dragged a few dozen meters in a state of weightlessness by a power I could only describe as superhuman. The next moment, violent pain shot through me. Unable to land properly due to being constrained, I slammed the back of my head into the ground with tremendous force to the point I nearly blacked out. The wires stayed wrapped around my body during the whole ordeal as the unknown force tied me to a tree, or perhaps a streetlight, robbing me of all freedom. I ended up crucified, not unlike a certain holy man. The wiring felt tightest around my arm and neck, leaving me unable to breathe. Consciousness began to gradually fade out. No, I had to preserve. Fainting here would mean the end, which admittedly might put me out of my misery, but it would also mean that I came here for no reason. I tried to bite into my tongue in an attempt to keep myself from passing out, but ended up putting too much strength into the act, nearly biting the whole thing off. Don't start. I'm sorry, I'm getting sick. Don't start choking on your own blood. Yes, I was choking on my own blood. Shit. I may have managed to keep myself from passing out, but also nearly ended up committing suicide in the process. If that wasn't enough, being strangled hindered my brain's blood flow, making my vision grow dimmer and dimmer with each passing second. robbed of movement and sight. I could rely only on my senses of smell and hearing to gather information regarding my surroundings. Yummy. Crush, smash, mash, walk, whack. My ear picked up a highly ominous sound while my nostrils were filled with a metallic stench powerful enough to make me want to vomit. I felt my face showered by a downpour of fresh, coppery blood at fixed intervals, following steady rhythm akin to the convulsions of a heart. Slash, shink, splish, shh. If I were to imitate the sounds of that live performance, this was basically how they'd sound. Even someone with no sense of imagination could tell what was going on in front of me. The grip of the wire grew stronger, biting into my flesh, scattering blood everywhere. So what I'd been hearing for a while now were... Does my bouquet suit your fancy, Zarathustra? Why are Germans always depicted as crazy? Please tell me why. Well, I should say German Nazis, not Germans. Germans in general, but still. Well, I'm choosing to say that he's a German since his name is German, and they come from Germany anyway, and they have a German lineage. That's why they ask Ren who his parents are, right? So yeah, in some case they do. I don't know. They're all related to Germany in some way or another. And I just assume Spinne is a German. Let's leave it at that. I'm tired. I can't think. I'm getting sick. I'm just not in the right mood for all this. So yeah, let's just continue. The sound of that bastard cutting his victims up into round slices. Why round slices? Why round? Why would you know that it is round? Oh well. Ah yes, very beautiful. Thank you. Ah, now I see why it was said the sexual content. I shouldn't show that, should I? Well, there's not really anything to see here. Clenching my teeth, I channeled the entirety of my remaining willpower into staying unconscious. Conscious, not unconscious. Conscious, while focusing my eyes to dart wildly in all directions in an attempt to regain my vision. I began to see the vague contours of something so horrifying it made me crave the repose of blindness. Before me was a spider wearing human skin, weaving its web between the nearby trees and streetlights, wearing a mocking smile as it stayed, hanging roughly 2 meters above the ground. A sight defying all common sense, almost like a mean prank. Calling it a nightmare would have been an understatement. The hell was up with this freak? I knew I had sworn to leave behind the common sense of my day-to-day life, but was the other side truly this rife with absurdity? Absurdity? A sight laughably removed from all traces of humanity. A thoroughly blatant disregard for human life that could make anyone cry. What did any of these lifeless women do to deserve being strung up there like butterflies caught in a spider's web? You tried, Ren. Okay, I tried as well. The wire strangling my neck robbed me of the ability to speak. The only thing filling me with more rage than this asshole right before me was my own inability to throw an insult at him.
どうやらお気に召さないようですね。あの副首領閣下の縁者にしてはまた随分とまともな心をお持ちのようだ。
One second, we're now his relative? I thought we were just chosen by him, not a relative. But okay, I suppose not. For a relative of His Excellency the Vice Commander, you appear to be quite normal.
さて、こんな格好で失礼かとは思いますが、改めて自己紹介をいたしましょ
う。Now then, I apologize for this display, but allow me to once again introduce myself.
私はシュピーネ。清掃13騎士団国園宅第10位、ロート・シュピーネ。以後、お見知りおきよ。親愛なるザラトゥストラ。
My name is Spinne. Rote Spinne. Number X. 10 of the longest rights in Orden's Obsidian Round Table. Pleased to make your acquaintance, beloved Zarathustra. Mare. Shut the fuck up. His mock pleasantries only ended up fueling my urge to kill. I gave in to my fury in an attempt to tear off the wires still holding me in place, but to no avail. In fact, the more strength I put into it, the deeper they sank into my flesh and bones.
無駄ですよ。今のあなたにそれは切れない。
Do not waste your breath. You cannot cut it as long as you are now. The wires strangling me grew ever tighter, almost as if it possessed a mind of its own. I assumed Spinner's web was also made out of this. In which case, could this be?
そう、それが私の生物。ワルシャワ月頭で数限りない劣等どもをくびり殺した代物です。歴史こそ浅いものの、吸い取った魂は100や200じゃ効きません。
Precisely. That is my Amantes, the very same one that strangled countless subhumans at the Warsaw ghetto. Its history may be young, but you will need more than a few souls to outperform it.
同胞ゆえに試したことはありませんが、これに捕らえられたが最後。生産杯芸家といえども脱出できぬ一品であると自負していますよ。
It is indeed a relic of utmost quality. Once captured, not even His Eminence, the divine vessel, could break free from its grasp, albeit I had no opportunity to test it, with him being our brethren and all.
生産杯だと。
The divine vessel?
おや、ご存じないのですか？おかしいですね。彼はあなたを痛く気に入っているようなのですが。
Oh my, were you not aware of his identity? That certainly is unusual. He seems to have taken quite a liking to you too. The divine vessel, I heard Sakurai utter that phrase a while back. Judging from the way they talked about him, I figured it must have referred to their leader.
しかり、我ら国園宅を率いる狩猟代行クリストフ・ローエン・グリーン。恐ろしく滑稽で道化者ではありますが、油断のならぬお方です。ベイやマレウスからは露骨に警戒されているものの、私はそれなりに信頼していると言っていい。
Indeed, he is Christoph Lohengrin, acting commander of the Obsidian Round Table. He may be terrifying, laughable, and a buffoon, but he is a man you can never let your guard down around. by Amelius openly stay cautious around him, but I trust him in my own way.
少なくともあの5人に比べれば人間らしい部分をお持ちのようですからね。
Speak for yourself, Spinner. Speak for yourself. At the very least, he still retains a touch of humanity, unlike those five. Those five? Who was he talking about? Despite my situation, I still found myself being caught up on meaningless details like that. It may have been barely visible, but Spinner's expression shifted ever so slightly as he mentioned them. Hatred, repugnance, feelings of inferiority, repulsive emotions he had no way of discarding. Was he afraid of his comrades?
よろしい。
Very well. Following that short utterance, Spinner hopped onto the ground from his web, then proceeded to walk up to me.
もともと今夜はあなたを殺しに来たのではありません。いささか聞いていただきたいことがありましてね。
I didn't come here tonight to kill you at all. I merely wished to ask you a simple question. What? If he didn't come here to kill me, then what the hell was this all about?
レオンハルトから聞いたのではないですか。我々はあなたに強くなっていただく必要があると。
I take it you've heard from Leonhard that we need for you to become strong, yes?
正直、血の気の多い連中では教師に向きませんからね。彼女と、そしてこの私が、生産杯芸家からその役を仰せつかったというわけです。
To be honest, hot-blooded people don't make good teachers. As such, the divine vessel merely forced the task on me and her.
レオンハルトが講義を、そして私が実技の方を。適材適所というやつですか。
He ordered Leonhard to lecture you and asked me to take care of your actual training. I suppose it's assigning the right task to the right people. The tension of the wire wrapped around my neck loosened up at around the same time he said that, making me choke on the excess of oxygen rushing to my lungs. You did good, Ren.
あちらのあれはあなたにやる気を出していただくよう遊びで用意したものですよ。まあ若干趣味の領域でもありますがね。
Yes, you're a sadist. We all know. Thank you very much. I prepared that girl as my plaything in order to spur your motivation, though I do suppose it's also somewhat of a hobby of mine.
Kid.
Son of a rage blinded me. A plaything? This lowlife considered killing people a game?
人殺しということならあなたも同じ穴の無地なでしょう。まあそんなことはどうでもいい。
If I'm a murderer, then that makes us birds of a feather, yes? Well, I suppose that hardly matters now.
せっかく得たこの機会、私は有効活用したいのです。目的を果たすためにも。
I'm not letting this chance slip through my fingers. It'll help me achieve my goal.
あなた、それを知りたくはないのですか？
Aren't you curious? His goal? Well, let's figure his goal out in the next part. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Bye bye!